Welcome all my YouTube friends. Welcome to the 11th episode of Christyn's Crochet Corner. You guys, we're back with another episode 11. It is such an honor to be here with y'all once more. As always, welcome back to another episode. If you're a new subscriber, I want to encourage you to go check out video number 1, and it has a lot of backstory. Christyn Crochet Corner episode 1 has a lot of backstory about who I am, why I got started crocheting, why I'm passionate about crocheting, things like that. And then also episode 10, our last episode, it is 10 non-yarning things about myself, just so that you can get to know me a little bit better, get to know what our channel is based on, how our channel kind of flows. As always, to our returning subscribers, thank you so much. None of this would be possible without you guys. So thank you so much for returning. I would like to remind you, as always, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And never forget to ring that bell so that every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, you know what time it is. It's Christyn Crochet Corner time. I had somebody comment one time that she said, on her lunch break, I come on. So when she's at lunch, she watches me and she's laughing and she's having a good time. And honestly, you guys, this show is about crochet, duh. But this show is also about having a good time, sharing a laugh, sharing a smile, sharing an embrace, a cyber embrace, sharing the cyber love. So this is what this channel is about. It's not about me trying to get rich off of this. It's not about me trying to make tons of money or be super famous. No, this is about me sharing the love, sharing the crochet love. And if you're not a crocheter, that's cool too, boo. You ain't got to crochet. If you're a knitter, if you're a loomist, a loom knitter, whatever you do, what is that? Macrame? If you do macrame, anything yarn related. So whatever you do, whoever you are, wherever you're from, a big Texas welcome to Christyn's Crochet Corner. So I better get started because we got a lot on our list. Look at that. That's a big old list. So I'm joking. First of all, I want to talk about my beep, 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 beep. What is this called, guys? Help me out. Shawl. I want to talk about my shawl. You know, you guys, I love my shawls because I don't like my arms. I'm a little bit self-conscious about my weight. When I was in high school, I used to be a size 3. And when I got pregnant, we're Mexican. So the Mexicans are like, when you're pregnant, you have to eat. Because if you don't eat, your baby's going to die. That is what my grandmother told me, her words. She told me that I was too skinny. I needed to eat because I didn't have enough vitamins for my baby, and that my baby was going to be sick and blah, blah, blah. So that's not true, by the way. But I ended up gaining almost 90 pounds. And so it's really hard for me to lose it now. So I'm just so self-conscious about my weight. And I know, like, my dad tells me, like, no, your arms are fine. My husband always tells me that I'm beautiful. And I always have a lot of support telling me, like, no, you're beautiful. You don't need to lose weight. You're perfect the way you are. But it's just like nom, 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 eating at me inside. So I just would rather cover up. So I love my shawls, first of all, because I'm always at church. And I just like to be decent, covered up. But also I'm very self-conscious. So I have this shawl. And this pattern is from Yarn Utopia's. I can't remember what it's called. But it's a Yarn Utopia by Nadia, and she recently had a baby boy, and he is gorgeous. So if you would like to go over to yarnutopia.com, it's her blog. She just had her first son, her sweet baby boy, and so much congratulations to Nadia. Being a mother is the most incredible experience, and sons are so beautiful. So much congratulations to her and her husband, Nate. But she did write this pattern, and this is actually one of my favorite shawl patterns because it's like a spring shawl. So it's not too overwhelming and doesn't get too hot. So I made actually 3 of these. And this is the other one that y'all see me wearing a lot. So this is what the shawl actually looks like. Very light, very airy. It has a lot of little holes, so it's not too overbearing in the Texas heat, because it's hot down here, guys. But these are my favorite shawls. It's the same pattern, same thing. But this color is called Mermaid Cove. It is Line Brand, the Mandela yarn, in the color Mermaid Cove. And I actually made them for a charity event for my church, and they actually didn't end up selling very well. So I was like, So they just gave them back to me, and they said, you know, next time we have a sale, you can bring it back. But I never did because I fell in love with them. So anyways. Today I have been so thirsty. Not for soda, not for tea, for water. I think that's my body telling me something. As always, we have Steven here. Steven is here, and he is growing, you guys. He's getting bigger. He, you know, you can't really tell on camera, but, you know, face to face, face to leaf, he is really, you know, getting in height. So I'm so proud of him. He's doing such a good job. I am very excited to announce, you guys, I could, like, my head could pop off and spin right there in front of y'all. I finally finished the blanket. I finally finished it. So let me show y'all. If I can get it. Don't look right here. So this is Bed of Roses. It is a paid for pattern. I bought it on ecentralpatterns.com. And it is a website. They are, excuse me, they are all like on like e-patterns. Like that's, I don't know how to describe that. It's just like a pattern that you download on your computer. You can print it out, or you can just keep it. I keep it on my external hard drive, and I just pop them up whenever I need them. So this is a twin size blanket. I don't know if you can see. It's called Bed of Roses by Glinda Winkleman. Glinda Winkleman is the woman behind Creative Grandma. I hope I'm not messing y'all up with my sound. If I am, I apologize because of this huge, ginormous blanket. But just to recap, I finished my blanket. It's called Bed of Roses. I did purchase it, and it was written by, it is a twin size blanket written by Glinda Winkleman. She is the woman behind Creative Grandma. I've been following Creative Grandma for about 2 years now. I love her stitches of the week. She is creative. Let me tell you, she's a creative grandma. Let me tell you about that. But if you haven't heard of her, please hop on over to her channel and subscribe. Share the love. But here is, it's very heavy, very heavy. So I will put a picture at the end so you can see what this big thing looks like. It's very heavy. And I can't remember what video it was, but I had the 2 end panels, and I did finally finish the middle, and then I did the border, and the border was very simple. Please excuse my ugly nails. The border was very simple. It was just 2 double crochet in each block, and then 1 double crochet in each double crochet. So it was very beautiful. I'm like out of breath from picking that thing up. And then I just sewed my edges together. I sewed the panels together. It took forever to finish this freaking blanket, but I finally finished it. It is a filet pattern. It was my first filet pattern I've ever done. I'm very proud of myself that I finally finished it, and I can move on with my life because I'm done with that freaking blanket. Yeah. So that's one of my finished objects. I am currently working on lots of blankets, as y'all know. My Whips journal, I do not have it because I forgot it. It is in my bedroom. My Whips journal is got a lot of blankets in it. So it's got, it had that one. I used the Karen 1-pounder, Yarnspirations Karen 1-pounders. I used about 3 of those. I used 3 pounds of yarn. pretty much. A little bit less. I use definitely 2 pounds of yarns. Definitely 3 pounds of yarn. And then a fourth one. But not a lot. Like, maybe if the ball is like this, I use like this much. So I didn't use too much yarn of the last one, but I used 3 pounds of yarn for sure. It is a very heavy yarn, so that's not like a spring blanket. It's very heavy, it's very hot. But anyways, the other thing that I'm most excited to share with you guys is I had a lot of blankets on my whips, was what I was saying. And I had that blanket. I had my granny stitch blanket. I had my Jade and Stitches 2017 calendar. I'm not doing the 2019. I'm doing the 2017. I fell in love with that blanket. And I'm making 2 of those, actually. One for my church. I don't know if y'all remember. I'm making one for my church and the one for me, because I want more of my own crocheted items in my home. A lot of my crocheted items I give away, or people will tell me like, oh, you know, can I buy that? You know, can you make me one? I'll buy it. And I'm like, yes. And I have less and less time to make for my family or for myself. So my home is not really filled with a bunch of crocheted items. So this year was all about me. So I think I'm gonna stop giving away a lot of my stuff. I'm definitely not gonna make it for anybody outside my home, unless it's like my dad, my mom, you know, my stepmom, things like that, you know, obviously, you know. So but I had that blanket, I had the Jade and Stitches, I had the Crochet Along with Sarah Satch. And then I also have, I had that granny stitch blanket that was a Jade and Stitches simple granny stitch blanket, and it's literally just a granny stitch. I started working on it in February, and I actually put that blanket on hold to start that Bed of Roses blanket, but I finally finished that granny stitch. Now let me tell you the story behind that blanket. So one day I was laying in my bed, and my family knows that I'm always cold. My bones are like super sensitive, and they feel like I'm in pain because I'm always cold and my husband is always hot. So we always have the air conditioner on and I'm always in pain. So one day I was trying to take a nap, and I had one blanket, and the blanket is like a rectangle. How do I do a rectangle? How would you do? Oh, okay. Like this. I was like trying to do like, I don't know. But anyways, it's a rectangle. Okay. Let's say it's like this. Okay. So, and then my head, we're going to use Steven. My head was up here, and like these are my shoulders, and I would pull the blanket up over my shoulders and my feet would hang out. So then my feet were cold, and then I would like pull I was just like, and I did not like that. So what I did was I like put the corner on my shoulder, and then like my feet were like barely covered. So I was like a little bit upset, and I was like, Christyn, you have this magic ability to create things out of yarn. Make yourself a blanket. Duh. So I was like, I'm gonna make myself a blanket? What the heck? So that's what I did. I don't know if y'all know, but my favorite anything to do with granny. I love the granny stitch. The mitered granny, just the regular granny is like my all-time favorite. But anyways, I just wanted to do like regular granny stitch, and Jade and Stitches came out. She sold her pattern for the granny stitch blanket, and my favorite color is purple. So my husband took me to Walmart, and he said, let's go look for something, you know, for your blanket. And I found this purple, it's called Violet, and it's purple red heart ombre, and the name is Violet. But I started it in February. I had to put it on hold, but I came back to it and I finally finished it. And you know me, guys, I'm like, gotta be over the top with everything. So I did this granny stitch, I finished it, and I was like, done. I'm gonna throw this one in the closet and be like another blanket down. Boom. And then I was looking at it, and my husband was like, what? And I was like, what? And he was like, why are you looking at your granny like that? So it was missing something. It needed a certain something, like a little bit of a touch of Christyn. So I started doing some research, and I was like, it needs something. I feel like it needs a border. Oh my gosh. A border is like the cherry on top of any project that you do. So, or blanket project, excuse me. So the border kind of just ties everything together and just gives it that little, but you have to pick the right border, guys. How many of y'all have put the wrong border on a great blanket and you were like, yo, I messed this blanket up. Frog, 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 frog. Rip this puppy out real fast. Okay. So anyways, I made this perfect blanket. It was the perfect length. It's wide enough to fit my body and I could like roll in it. And it's long enough that it covers my feet and it covers my shoulders. So perfect everything. It just needed that little on top. It needed that border. So I was doing research. I was looking through all my books and I found the perfect border. So I thought. So I started doing the counting, and if y'all ever have done a border, y'all know that the stitch counting for your border is a nightmare. So we'll talk about that in another video on how much of a nightmare this was. It took me 2 days because I started a border, decided this is not the border for this blanket, ripped it out, look, found the border I wanted, and I did the stitch count. I finally did the base count, and then I started my border. So this is my oh, okay. And then I did it in the color that I didn't like. So then I had to go and buy another color that I would like for the border. But this is my blanket. So this is the granny. This is the blanket in all of my pictures. So like if you have me on social media, like on Facebook or Instagram or my YouTube photo is with this, I'm making this blanket. But what it didn't have was this beautiful border. Let me flatten it. Let me get up close so you can appreciate it. Please excuse my nasty nails. Thank you. So this is the border, you guys. Isn't that lovely? It's made, all of it honestly is made with treble crochet and chains. That's it. It was really easy, honestly. It's a flower. The only thing I didn't like was that these two petals did not connect, and it looks a little bit like off. But it's for me. I'm not giving it to anybody. I'm not gonna sell it. It's my own personal blanket because I'm forever cold. So, you know, whatever. It's okay. I let it go. So it was no big deal. The color that I chose for the border, as you can see, this was a problem that I had with the border. Okay, so as you can see, this is a variegated yarn, and it moves colors from this deep violet purple to this lilac purple. Now, the problem that I had with the border is this border is actually worked in 3 rows. It is not worked like the flower is worked in 2 parts. The flower is worked by the first 4 petals. You go all the way around, and then when you come back, you join and you work these next 2 top petals all the way around, and then you work the single crochet on top. Okay. Now the problem was, if I use this ombre variegated yarn, the top half of my petals were gonna look maybe like dark purple, and the bottom half was gonna probably be dark, and the top half was gonna be light. So I didn't feel it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, it's gonna look off, and you're not gonna be able to tell what is that. Is it a flower? What is that? So I kind of wanted it all in a unity to tie the blanket together. Now, using the perfect border and the perfect color is also a very important task. So the color I got is Pale Plum, Red Heart Super Saver. I did use Red Heart, Red Heart. They are both number 4s. It's like a pastel-y purple, but it kind of matches this lilac-y color. So I figured this would match beautifully, and it did. These colors married so well, you guys. Oh my gosh. I was kind of debating if I should sell it, but I was like, no, because I'm gonna be like pissed if I'm freezing and I'm like, damn, I should have had that blanket. But I'm gonna keep it. It's for me. Like I said, I used the Red Heart Ombre in violet, the pale purple for the border. I used a size 5.5 millimeter for my grannies. And then for the border, because it's so big, I went down half a size. So I went to a 5 millimeter hook because the border is like really thick. I didn't want it to be bigger. So I just decided, I took a leap of faith and I ended up being right. What do you know about that? But I've been using it. I finished it last night. I finished it last night, and today I barely weaved in my ends because I'm that lazy. I only had 4 ends to weave. Whoop, whoop. So, yeah, you guys, I was so happy about it. I'm very happy with this blanket. Let me just throw that. So, that blanket matches this pillow. I have headaches a lot. And I noticed that when I double my pillow in half and I put it right here in my neck, it kind of takes the pressure off my head and it makes it feel good so I can fall asleep and go to and sleep comfortable. So I said, you know what? I need me a sturdy pillow. So actually I found this yarn at the thrift store. I don't even know what color it is. I know it's a red heart just by the texture of it. But so I decided to make myself a pillow. I used one skein of yarn, and I used to make this pillow. I know I'm not making any sense. Blah, blah. To make this pillow, I actually used 2 strands of yarn. So it was 1 ball. I only had the 1 ball. So I just took from the middle and took. Can you see? Can you see this? I took the middle and I took from the end, and I used the 8 millimeter hook, and I started from the bottom, and I work my way up. And I wanted a really stiff pillow, so I stuffed it. And even right now I have my head hurts. What I do is I put it like this, and I'll sleep like this, and it takes the pressure from my neck off, I guess. I don't know. This is my headache pillow. So everybody knows when I'm using this pillow, I got a headache. So I just embellished it with this little flower, and it had a bead in it, but I washed this thing so much. It smells so good. I wash it so much because it's always on the freaking floor. I don't know why my stuff is always on the floor. But I wash it so much so the little bead came off in the middle. And it's like linty and gross, but it's for me, you guys. It's my headache pillow. So I just embellished it with a little flower and with a C for Christyn's crochet corner. No, it's a C for Christyn, but that, of course, I love purple, so it matches my granny blanket. So I've got my headache pillow, my granny blanket. Let's talk about the giveaway. I am so thirsty. Let's talk about the giveaway. So I wanted to do the giveaway at 100 subbies, and I'm already getting ready for that giveaway. I've been buying little things here and there. I don't want to buy anything like just crochet related, because I know we have a lot of people who they crochet, but they also do other things. They also, knit, they loom knit, that y'all might do other things with yarn. So I think I'm just going to keep it based on just yarn, because I don't want to be discriminatory. If you can crochet, you don't have to crochet. You can be here and do whatever. So I don't want to be discriminatory. I think I'm just going to do yarn related things. So I want to do it when I get 100 subbies. But also my birthday is coming up, so I would love to do a giveaway for my birthday. If I reach 100 subbies before my birthday isn't until the end of July. So if I reach 100 subbies before my birthday, I am going to do the 100 subby giveaway. But if it takes me until close to my birthday, I will do it also for my birthday. I might even throw a little something extra in there. But I just wanted to confirm we are still doing the giveaway. So share these videos, you guys. Share the love. I found a really, I want to tell you what I found for the giveaway. I want to tell you what I'm going to give you. But I want to keep it a surprise. I can't keep it in. I can't contain myself. But I'm very excited. My husband and I go shopping for the giveaway. So it's not going to be solely crochet related. Maybe for my birthday, I will do a crochet related one just because that's what I do and that's what I love to do. And if you don't, maybe you can donate the crochet hooks or give them to somebody who does crochet or pick it up. So every week I used to do like a little get to know me, like tip kind of thing, so just so you can know me better. And I had stopped doing them because I was going to do 10 non-yarny things, right guys? So I ended up doing that. So I'm going to keep that going. So if you watched my very first episode, it was about how I got started crocheting. But what y'all don't know is I did not first pick up the crochet hook when, 3 years ago? I first learned how to crochet, I think I was like 8 or 9. Yeah, 8 or 9 years old. I was about 8 or 9 years old. And actually, the two women so crochet has been in my life since I was young, since I was a young Christyn. And the two women that really unknowingly had this influence on me because they didn't know and they know now, but they've passed on to be with their Heavenly Father. And so I was never able to thank them or to tell them. But one of the women was my grandmother. My grandmother, Alice, my grandparents, my mother's parents, were amazing people. Like, I wish that they could still be here. Like, they would be on my show, and I wish y'all would have known them. Like, they were great people. So she actually did a lot of lace crochet. So she had like the aluminum hook, like the tiny hooks. And I always remember seeing like these tiny little metal hooks, and then the little lace thread. And I would just see her crocheting, and she would crochet like table runners or little doilies or like a thing, like a runner, but for the TV, like for on top of the TV. So she was always making little things like that. But she never taught me. It was just in my life. She taught me how to embroider. That was her thing. She liked to embroider more than crochet, I'm assuming, because she taught me how to embroider. But the woman who actually introduced crochet in my life was my aunt, my tia Helen. And tia in Spanish means aunt. So my aunt Helen. My aunt Helen used to live in these little apartments. And one day my father took me to go visit her, and we were just talking, whatever. And I don't even remember how it was brought up, but I remember she told my mom, go to Walmart, because the Walmart was like 2 minutes away from her house. She was like, go to Walmart, get her a thing of yarn, and get her a hook. And I don't remember what she told her, but I remember my mom came back with, I don't remember what brand, but it was a black, like a rainbowy. It was like black and rainbow, and then black. It was a variegated yarn, and it was black and bright color rainbows, which is not a good color for a beginner, because if you're a beginner, do not begin with dark colors. It is the worst. But anyways, my mom didn't know. And so, but I remember she came with a gold 5mm boy hook. And I, of course, did not know when I was little, like, oh, this is a boy hook. But now that I remember it, I know it was a boy hook. And my tia Helen, we were outside. She was sitting with me, and she was teaching me to chain. And so we were chaining, and I remember my chains were all wonky and different sizes, and she was trying to teach me how to hold my yarn, and I couldn't hold my yarn right. But my tia Helen introduced me to the crochet community, and I had stopped crocheting up until I was older, 3 years ago, but these doors were open in my life a long time ago, and my tia Helen unknowingly awoke the beast, the crochet addict that I am now. So these women, you guys, it's so important that we share our craft with the younger generations, especially like my daughter. She's very young, but she's very interested in crochet. And even my son, I'll have like a hook stuck in my yarn ball, and he'll rip it out, and he's like, because he sees me, he sees that my hand movement, he sees my gestures. It's so important to leave something, some sort of footprint behind in these children's life. Even if you don't have any children, any grandchildren, if you have a niece and nephew, a neighbor, a friend, someone that you see in the park every week, it's so important to leave these footprints behind, because you don't know. My tia Helen sat with me for like 20 minutes, an hour. I don't know how long it was, but I remember that. I remember that from years ago. And she opened that door. She didn't know what she was doing. She just did it out of the kindness of her heart to spend time with me. And now, years later, she's passed already. She's passed away a few years ago already. It's been quite a while. And now I still remember her. I still remember the legacy that she left. This is her footprint that she left on my life. So you guys, we don't know what we're doing. So go out there and teach a friend or family member, a young person, an older person, your sister, your brother, whoever. Crochet is not about the object that is being made. It is about the memories that are being made. And that is the most beautiful thing to me. It doesn't matter about the finished object. It matters, I remember I made this with blah, 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 blah. Or I made this for do. And that's the beautiful thing about crochet, about knitting, about loom knitting, about macrame. It doesn't matter. It's the memories that we make. So tia Helen, thank you for making me this crocheting monster. Thank you for opening up the door. I know you didn't know what you were doing back then, but thank you. I love you. Just, so much thank you to my tia Helen. We're going to end. I always get so sad when we end, you guys. Don't leave me. We're going to end, of course, with our quote of the week. And actually, this quote didn't come with anybody. Like, it didn't say so-and-so said this. So I'm assuming this is like anonymously. And I always tell you this, you guys. And I was like, boop, I gotta tell them. It says, look for something positive in each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder. I always tell you that. And I feel like I've said that quote before. And if I repeat quotes, I'm so sorry. My memory is like not in here anymore. It's like gone. So if I repeat quotes, I'm so sorry. But it's because I really like these quotes and I really feel like you would get something out of it. So if you are sitting at lunch right now and I'm having lunch with you, cheers. Or if you're just sitting at home watching me on your TV or your tablet or your laptop or whatever, your cell phone, cheers. Never, never, never forget that somebody out there loves you. And it's me. I love you. And I hope that you have an amazing day or an amazing night, an amazing week. I hope that you don't forget to look for something positive. And it could be anything. You could be walking home and there's like this little baby walking with his mom and he smiles at you. Or you could go to Joann's and the hook that you've been needing is on sale. Or whatever it is, there's always something positive in each day. And don't forget about that. Don't forget about how beautiful your life is, how beautiful you are, and how much we love you here at Christyn's Crochet Corner. Y'all have a great day.